Who loves you, baby? That's right. It's Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and of course, the ruler of the kingdom of hair loss. Now, I received a comment today in my real time, whatever day I filmed this video. I had someone ask me in the comments, they said, Nick, what would be your suggestion on someone who's Norwood 4 about slicking back their hair? Well, my answer is going to be the same across the board for Norwood 4. Now, before we get into that, I recently made a video because it's an ongoing debate here in the kingdom of hair loss on what Norwood I am and whether I'm actually balding or not. You know, and people cannot agree. It's largely based on your perception as the viewer. Now, ultimately, I would say balding is largely based on whether you're before the age of 35 or not. Because for the most part, this is one of the things I've taught for years, however much hair you have by 35 pretty much is a good projection of where you are for the rest of your life. So you can go back to videos I made when I was age 35, you can search them and you can find them. And you're gonna find that my hairline wasn't much different than it is now at age 42, 7 years later. So ultimately, Norwood 4, let's talk about what that actually is. Now, whatever you think my hairline is, I'm gonna go with Norwood 2.5. But ultimately a Norwood 4 would be, this front part is basically an island, like a little patch. And then there's clearly just scalp and then separated. So it's not fully bald on top, but it's got a little island here, like not even a peninsula, but an island. So if you had your hair, you know, say 2 inches long, yes, you could slick it back, and ultimately instead of a comb over, it would be a comb, you'd be combing over this way, but still it would be more obvious as you did that. So, and I would say, what I'm right at now, I'm thinking of Bruce Willis, like when he did the Die Hard movies, more so the first and the second one. And then he eventually started shaving his head, which is where I'm going with this. If I personally were Norwood 4, I would shave my head. Like that would be, like people would love to ask me, Nick, when are you gonna buzz your hair off again? When are you gonna shave your head again? You know, ultimately I may do it at some point when I feel like it, but it won't be permanent. Not until I am Norwood 4. If I have an island here and then I have like a noticeable bald spot in the back, which for me is Norwood 4, island, bald spot, then it's time for me personally to shave my head. Now there will be people, I can think of one of my favorite movies, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The guy that plays Rufus, George Carlin, the comedian, I would say he was Norwood 4, and he had the slick back Norwood 4 going on. You can make it work, but ultimately, for me personally, I think it would just look better to shave it all off. That's what I personally would do, instead of trying to experiment with any kind of hairstyle with Norwood 4. For me, once we cross over from Norwood 3 to 4, it's time to shave it. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm saying that's what I personally would do because it was asked of me. Your comments belong right here.